Hello and welcome to the Corona Yoga Challenge, and today is day 75, and if you are abreast with what's going on in the world, there is trouble. There's big trouble going on in the world, sadly, and our job is to stay steady, keep to our practice, keep sending good feelings out to the world, keep balance inside, and to do what you can. So that's my start for the day. Make sure that you're checking my website so that you're keeping safe, and do subscribe if you want to get updates. And we're going to start by coming into all fours. So if you just want to bring yourself to a comfortable position. So nice comfortable position. Now I'm going to come here so you can see a little bit more easily in all fours. We're just going to start to sway the hips from one side to the other side. So just a nice easy movement over the lower back, and across the shoulders. And then you're going to let your weight come back to the centre, and then we're going to slide our hips forwards and back. So nice long movement through the spine, nice and easy. Feel that sense of almost like the spine and the pelvis just drop back as the hips come back. So we're allowing gravity to gently lengthen the spine. And then we're going to do a slightly different version of this today. So what we're going to do is you're going to take your hips over to one side and then back. And then ease your hips back in this direction. And then to the centre. And then to the opposite side. So just easing back and over to one side. You're going to come back into your first side again. So it's a good way to stretch out through the hips. And we're going to add a little bit more in a minute. So same thing. And then back to the centre. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take, let me do it this way, you're going to take one hand and you're just going to take it close towards your other hand. There we go, you can see. And then you're going to draw your hips back and over to the opposite side. And you're looking for a nice stretch out through the back of your waist and the back of your rib cage. Bring yourself back to the centre and then swap over. So hips are drawing back and you're coming over to one side, so you're going to start to get a lovely stretch into this area of the back. So you're going to come to your first side again. So this time you might want to let your palm face up, and you might want to let your body rest onto the floor. I find this the kind of most enjoyable way to do this, but everyone's slightly different about what works for them. So take a couple of breaths in whichever version you've found that feels really good for you. And then bring yourself back to the centre. And then to the opposite side. Again, head is just resting, back of the body is gently stretching. And your breathing is easy. And then bring yourself back to all fours. And I should say that pose, or that particular version, is from Philippa Gillespie. And I don't suggest you Google this, so email me if you want contact. But she runs Super Butt Bitches, which is a really fun class, which is not quite your normal yoga thing, but all good healthy fun, and she's lovely. So we're going to come up and into standing from here. So you're going to bring yourself up and into forward bend, so soft through the back of the knee. Folding forward so that your body is relaxed, and you're going to let your hands settle onto your thighs somewhere. So it could be really high up, it could be somewhere lower down. You're going to bend through your knees, you're going to press down through your feet, send your hands out and wide, all the way up and overhead, and then down to your heart. As the hands come down to the heart, let the hips settle very slightly back so we get that widening out through the back of the body. And then if you bring yourself to standing onto your mat now, we're going to do a version of Warrior One. So you're going to take one foot forward, nice big step, both feet are facing straight forward. So if you look at your mat, they're both going to be parallel, so the toes aren't coming out at the back for this one. So the back heel usually will step out towards the edge of your mat just a little bit. And you're going to let your front knee bend. So front knee is bending, so the knee is over your ankle joint. Both feet are steady. If you feel a little bit wobbly, take your feet a little bit wider on your mat. And do bring that back toes pointing a little bit out if you need it to. And then you're going to let your hands come wide. Your shoulders are going to relax down. And then from here, you're going to take your hands onto your own shoulders and you're just going to draw yourself in. So imagine that you're just gently giving yourself a hug and drawing your elbows slightly down. And then from here, press into the feet. If you want to, you can gently look up. Or gently get that feeling of a little bit more space through the upper body. And then you're going to peel up with the back foot. Hands are going to come wide. And step yourself to easy standing. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So back leg steps back, back heel settles down, front knee bends, we start to get a nice stretch, maybe through the back of the leg. Hands are going to come wide, shoulders release down. Opposite hand's going to come over the top as you let your hands rest onto your own elbows, give them a little hug, shoulders draw down. And then you're going to peel up through the back heel, take your hands wide, step into your front foot, come back to standing. And then we're going to come to your first side again. So it's a nice pose, giving yourself a wee hug, isn't it? This is a Heather Mason from the Minded Institute idea for trauma-sensitive yoga, but I thought, applies to all of us, doesn't it? You're going to let your hands wrap around. So this time you're going to make sure your front hand, front leg are over the top. So front hand comes over the top, arms are going to draw down, we're going to slightly sink into the pose if you would like to. And then from here, either keep giving yourself that nice steady kind of warming hug, or you can just start to lift your elbows up and get that feeling of a little bit of space through the front of the body. And then take your back heel up. We're going to step ourselves forwards and into standing. So we come back and the hands can come down. And then opposite side, same thing. Settle the feet down. Start to sink down through the front leg. Hands come wide, and remember the front arm is going to come over the top. Settle the hands onto your elbows, onto your shoulders even. Steady in, get that nice soft, controlled, settled feeling. And then, if you want to, allow the elbows to lift, gently lift up through the front of the body. And then let your elbows come down, peel up through your back heel, step into your front foot, back to steady and even standing. We're going to come down to the floor now, so if you want to bring yourself to sitting. So you're going to have your feet out in front, so in a comfortable bent-in position. So the same things we've done a couple of times where we're lifting up through the lower back, so we've got a nice feeling of contact. So from here you're going to take one leg, whichever one you want, post it round through the back, and you're going to leave your other foot just out here. So from the side, this is how I am choosing to be today. However, you could be knee further out here, just wherever your knees are happy for you to be. Because what we're wanting is for the knee joints to always be in neutral and not stretching. But stretching into the kind of more, I always say more muscly, but I'm not quite sure. Well, there are more muscles here. Deeper, bigger muscles here, usually. A little bit extra as well. So what we're going to do from here is you're going to bring yourself in towards your own thigh. So you're wrapping in towards your own thigh. Hand is just going to rest gently onto your leg. And you're getting a feeling of lifting up with the rib cage, which is going to bring you round. So the shoulders are nice and relaxed. And you can find that almost quiet quality where we get that feeling of real life coming into the body because we're kind of finding a position. But then from there, it's just soft it back. Soft and easy. So we get that kind of balance between really active and really soft and in the moment as well. And then bring yourself back to the centre. We're going to come over to the opposite side. So you're going to flip that opposite leg out. And the knee's going to come in. It might be somewhere slightly different. That's okay. Sometimes bodies are asymmetrical and want something slightly different on each side. Hand's going to rest onto your leg, and then you're coming out and into the open space. Sorry, we're not. I'm doing this because I'm speaking to you. You're going to come towards your front thigh, but my voice is going to go a little bit as I come away from you. So you're going to start to draw up and round and in towards your thigh, both shoulders soften and relax. back of the neck lengthens, and you're going to lengthen all the way up and underneath the skull. And then bring yourself back to the centre, onto your leg. Fold forwards for a moment. And then bring yourself up to sitting so that you can do a little bit of breathing. So we're going to do a little bit of ujjayi breathing today, so that soft snoring breath. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to take a nice easy breath in through your nose, and then either, if you've not done this before, you're going to breathe out through your mouth. And if you have done this before, you can let the lips close just gently, and you're going to be breathing in and out through your nose. But the noise that we're going to make is a little bit like you're misting up a mirror or you're being Darth Vader. So it's this sort of noise. Hopefully that's loud enough for you. So you're going to be going at your pace of breathing. So we'll just do a couple of breaths like that. And if it feels a bit weird and you're not quite sure you're doing it right, go check my blog on ujjayi breathing. And there's a bit more inspiration and help there, and it's on my website. Ta-da! So nice easy breathing. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Last time, in and out. And then let your breathing just become really gentle, easy, and just start to notice, how do I feel in this moment after just those couple of breaths. So my challenge for you today is that whatever you eat, to try and arrange it nicely on the plate. Now, nicely for you might be a dab of, ketchup and a blob of mayo. Might be drawing your name in the food, I don't know. If you're already into arranging food, it might be a little flower from the garden. It could be just a special kind of MasterChef-y sort of a thing going on. Just have a bit of fun arranging a plate so that the food before you eat it is a part of that joy, how it looks to you. So it doesn't have to appeal to other people, which is wonderful, isn't it? So my quote for you today is from Mahatma Gandhi, and this is, thank you to Mary Park. I don't know if you remember, years ago you gave me these lovely little quotes. This is a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. As long as you derive inner help and comfort from anything, keep it. As long as you derive inner help and comfort from anything, keep it. I hope you have a good day.